1:40. I'll repeat that. It's 1:45. We'll call this hearing to order. Notice is hereby given that the following hearing will be held at the Bonneville County Courthouse, 605 North Capitol Avenue, Idaho Falls, Idaho, July 20th, 2022, at 1:45 p.m. by the Bonneville County Commissioners for the purpose of a public hearing in relation to the application of Jura Holdings LLC, Kent Gooley, manager for a rezone on the property owned by William Sons Partnership from Agriculture A1 to Residence R2 zone. The general location is 6788 North Yellowstone Highway, Idaho Falls, south of 77th North and north of Ryrie Highway, US Highway 26 in Bonneville County. There was a legal description published along with accommodations of how to attend the hearing. This was published in July 5th in the Post Register. Those present, myself, Commissioner Christensen, Commissioner Walker is out of town on county business, and Commissioner Reed is attending by Zoom. We do have the minutes and record from the planning and zoning hearing. So without objection, we'll make those part of the record.
Okay.
Hearing none, we'll make these part of the record for this hearing. To begin with, we'll have Michelle.
It's actually also.
This is also present the application and go through kind of the processes that happen in planning and zoning, any information you need us to have. Then if the owner or representative of the owner is here, we'll ask present, and then we'll open it up to public hearing for any members of the public to speak. Just reminding you that if you've testified before, we already have your testimony in the record. Feel free to speak, but saying it twice doesn't make it twice as true. So we'll go to that point. So go ahead, Austin, if you want to sit up to the table.
Yeah, for sure. Gwen's going to pull up the PowerPoint here. So as Chairman Christensen said, this is an application by Connect Engineering. And Kent Bowie is the representative. The property owner is actually William Sons Partnership. The property is located just north of the Beaches Corner area, kind of north of the Freedom Acres subdivision, and on the east side of Highway 43. Just to go over a few things briefly, so the property is currently zoned A1. The applicant is requesting an R2 zoning, which is 35.125 acres. And the applicants have provided a narrative with the application explaining their plan for the property, which would be multifamily housing. However, please be advised the property would be subject to all allowable uses within the R2 zoning district. There are services in the area such as Falls Water and Iona Bonneville Sewer District. This property was brought into the Iona Bonneville Sewer District area at the end of last year. It's in mixed use land use. If you want to go to the next slide, Gwen. So that shows the kind of the zoning or the land use area, and it's in mixed use land use. The proposed R2 zone is allowed to be considered within the mixed use designation. However, that does not mean it should be automatically approved. If we go to the next slide, you can see that there's the existing zoning surrounding the property and the A1 zoning on this property. And then if we go to the next slide, just kind of an aerial overview of the location. So just a few things I wanted to point out from the comprehensive plan. Leapfrog peripheral expansion confronts cities and the county with heavy new responsibilities. The plan is intended to be a guide for directing growth into more beneficial patterns. We must maintain a productive and profitable level of agriculture by preserving agricultural land for farming to cooperate with the agricultural activities. Just a few comments. The property is currently active viable farm ground. Comprehensive plan indicates that conflicts between residential development and neighboring farm operations must be considered, as well as the traffic impact. The proposed rezone would increase the density of residential dwellings in this area substantially. The proposed rezone is an example of peripheral expansion, not an area of infill. Consideration needs to be made for the proposed residential density expansion regarding the ability to provide all essential services such as schools, police and fire protection, solid waste and roads, water and sewer systems in the area. The distance from essential services to service this area for proposed rezone is a major consideration. And Idaho Department of Transportation has raised concerns about additional development in this area. The ITD stated during a joint public meeting with the Bonneville County Commissioners and Public Works that IDT is planning on putting a major interchange in this area from Highway 20 to Highway 26. There were comments from Road and Bridge in the planning and zoning hearing, which were included in your packet. One of those was continuation of the residential development in this area is creating great demand on Road and Bridge for service. Road and Bridge services, including snow plowing, is growing to a level that is not sustainable and will decrease the current level of service. That was pretty much all that I have. They did also talk about in the planning and zoning meeting, which you probably saw in the minutes, a little bit of concern over the ability to police the area as well. The planning and zoning board brought that up and discussed it briefly, even though they still approved the application. But oh yeah, and we included the the finding that was to the east of this that was just recently heard in your packet as well.
Okay. Anything else? Add to that, was the representative, the owner here?
Nope.
Okay, we'll have to, can't see Brian anymore.
Sorry, I'll stop sharing.
He's down in the corner. Do you have any questions, Brian, or Commissioner Reed?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just take their input from what they
Previous.
presented at the planning commission. So with that, no questions, we'll open it up to public hearing. I see a few members of the public here. If you wish to testify or make comments, if you haven't already. If you do, move up to this chair, state your name and address, talk into the owls.
My name's Colleen Solomon, and I live in the area
Address.
where 3037 East, 81st North.
Thank you.
And I'm generally against seeing farmland going into development. I know there's pros and cons, but this particular area, there's a real problem with the roads there and traffic. Sewage is a question, and we all know that water is limited. So I would have thumbs down to something like this.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
I thought we already did this once.
The way the process works is it goes before the Planning and Zoning Commission, which is a separate board, and they'll make a recommendation to us to gather all the information, sort it out, and that's what we made part of the record, is that process. This is to give you or the owners or anybody else any additional opportunity after going through that.
I'm having trouble to hear you.
I'm speaking with my inside voice. And they'll make a recommendation to us. Our decision will be the final decision. So we'd like to take that to comment and add any others. We'll make a decision today, and that should be the last of the hearings unless the owner appeals it. They'll have 28 days, and they can appeal it to the district court if they disagree with our decision.
So, we already voted, I did, no against it, that's on record.
You gave comments, unless you're a member of the planning and zoning, you had to vote.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean, though. Yeah, you, last name again, Solomon?
Shirtliff,
Shaw Sherlin. Okay.
Could you give your name and address for the record?
Georgia, Shirtliff, 7252 North Yellowstone Highway.
Okay.
Yeah, so your comments you made in the planning and zoning meeting are included in their packet.
Okay.
So unless you have anything additional to say, we have that on the record.
I still voted alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Just
you.
trying to find your comments in here, so make sure they're there.
They should be.
Okay.
I can pull them up here too.
I sent an email that was read at the first meeting, Gary Blunt.
I think I just looked at that.
That was included in the
That was
PNC stuff.
included too, so anything you want to add to that?
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
She's here for the show.
You're the silent majority.
Yeah, I'm silent this time.
All right. Okay, any comments, Commissioner Reed? Questions?
No.
Okay, any other addition, comments, P and Z like on the record?
No, I
Okay,
think.
with that, hearing no further public comment, we'll call this hearing to a close. We'll have, planning and zoning staff, develop proposed findings, and those will be presented to the commissioners probably in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We usually do those in the road and bridge meetings. They're public meetings, but not public hearings. We don't take any additional testimony. We make the decision based on the record. So at that point, you'd be welcome to watch our agenda and attend or talk planning and zoning in 2 or 3 weeks and see. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Sure.
Answer for me. I live directly across the street and the irrigation canal goes in front of my yard. If they need to widen that street, what happens to that? They won't do it, will they, with that canal, because that furnishes water to everyone in the neighborhood.
Hard to determine, but the general rule on irrigation is they can't cut off somebody's water downstream. They either have to make some type of accommodation to keep it moving. So whether they pipe it or whether ITD does something with it on a major interchange, but that'll be subject to a lot of hearings by ITD. So,
Thank you.
okay. All right, with that, we'll call this hearing to a close. Thank you.